Hey guys, and welcome back to Battlefront Updates and what might be the last video before the Scarif DLC release. First, I just want to say that I have managed to find a sort of solution to my internet issue, and I will be doing some test streams this night just for myself to see and if it's hopefully working. Otherwise I'm gonna have to find some other solution. But yeah, hopefully I will be streaming tomorrow as planned. What I wanted to talk about in this video was simply the Hutt contracts to prepare you guys for what's coming basically, so that you can make up a strategy on how you want to unlock them and so on. So let's just jump straight into it. I have obviously not unlocked these myself yet, but the requirements are pretty straightforward, so I can still give you some pretty good advice. Starting off with the DT29, we have 25 kills as Krennic, and personally, I think Hero Hunt is the best one for all of these kills with hero challenges. And that's what I did the last time when we needed it for Han Solo. The reason for this is that if you play Hero Hunt, you're pretty much guaranteed to get the hero at least once during a full game, unless you're very bad at the game. And if you're like me, you can get it at least 2 or 3 times. And every time you become the hero, you have at least like a 50% chance of becoming the right hero, depending on what other people pick. And most people will probably pick Krennic and Jin at the start. But yeah, so I would still recommend you to play Hero Hunt if you want to do this, because if you decide to play something like Walker Assault, the chances of getting the hero in just one game are a lot smaller, and if you play heroes versus villains, I can promise you that everyone will pick Krennic and Jin, so you're gonna have to be very quick to pick those heroes. So personally, I would really recommend you to play Hero Hunt, but if you're not a very good player, I'm guessing you simply have to be lucky with the hero pickups in other game modes. 10 personal shields, well, not much to say here. Just use a personal shield. 50 blaster pistol kills, well, this is also pretty straightforward. I would recommend playing something like Blast, where you can just focus on getting kills and not care too much about the objective. I would probably use a DL44 or the DH17 with explosive shot, and since the Briar pistol is getting a slight buff in this patch, it might also be a viable option. But that is all you need for the DT29. For the A180, you also need blaster pistol kills, but 25, so I would definitely recommend you to unlock both of these contracts at the same time if you can afford, because then you won't waste blaster pistol kills on one of them. 30 blaster rifle kills, same as with previously mentioned, I would probably recommend Blast, and use your favorite blaster rifle. I would probably use the E11 or EE4. Next up we have 20 targeting rifle kills, and this is a little bit more tricky, because a lot of people don't know what's a targeting rifle. Well, it's the Relby V10, the T21B or the DLT-19X. I would recommend the Relby because I think that's the best out of them, and it also works fairly well on both short and medium range maps, but if you prefer the sniping method, I would say pick the sharpshooter trait and go with either DLT-19X or T21B and play something like Supremacy or Walker Assault. Next up we have Sonic Imploder, flash 25 players and get 15 impact kills. These are kind of easy, just spam them as much as possible, at least the flash grenade. I'm guessing that you will probably get the flash requirement before you get the impact requirement, because getting kills with the impact grenade is pretty tricky, and if that is the case, I would recommend you to switch out the flashbang in your loadout to something like the Deoxys grenade or something else that does a little bit of damage but doesn't kill people, because then you can use that first and then finish off with the impact grenade, because right now I think it needs to be a dead-on hit in order for the impact grenade to kill, which is not too easy to get. Lastly, we have the upgraded Sonic Imploder, 30 Jin kills. I would say the same thing as earlier, play Hero Hunt, and if this is your plan, I would say get the Sonic Imploder first, so that you can have the upgraded Sonic Imploder and DT29 at the same time, because then you can play Krennic in those rounds on the Imperial side, and then you can play Jin on the rounds where you are on the Rebel side, so that will make it a lot more efficient. And the Sonic Imploder kills, it's kind of hard to say, because if Jin's Sonic Imploder counts, then it's fairly easy, just use her Imploder in Hero Hunt when you're already using her. But if it doesn't count, it's gonna be a little bit more tricky, because the normal Sonic Imploder isn't that powerful. It's pretty hard to kill with, and you're definitely gonna need something else that does a lot of damage. So I would recommend, again, the Deoxys grenade or maybe even the impact grenade, because the Sonic Imploder will be, I don't even think it can one-shot from full health, at least not the normal version, so that's gonna be a little bit more tricky. And both with Sonic Imploder, Flashbang and Impact Grenade, something like Extraction or something very close quarters will work. But one thing to note about all these quick tips is that I know a lot of you will want to play the Scarif content, and I will probably do that as well. Sure, I know that the things I just mentioned is probably the fastest thing to do, but I will probably just play the normal Scarif content to unlock all of this. But the one thing out of all of these tips that I will still follow is the hero hunt tip, because I feel like getting heroes in other game modes is gonna be a lot slower. So I think I will simply play Krennic and Jin in hero hunt, get those kills, and then get all of the rest of the requirements in the normal Scarif rotation. The other thing I'm a bit worried about is those 15 impact kills. They will probably be a little bit hard to get on Scarif as well. But well, now you know my thoughts, now you know what to do if you want to unlock them as fast as you possibly can, or if you just want to unlock them sort of medium fast and play Scarif content on at the same time. I hope those tips were helpful, and if you have any more tips for these Hutt contracts, make sure to leave them in the comments below so your fellow Battlefrontians can learn from that. And myself, of course. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and as always, may the Force be with you.